Hi everyone, it's 18th of October, it's Wednesday, 28 minutes to 8 p.m. in the evening. Here's my latest video blog. I actually did a video, I was in Lombok in Indonesia last week and I did a video and I was all excited about it and I tried to upload it and I had heaps of problems. And by the time I got back to Australia with good internet, I felt like the video was outdated and old, so I sort of held back on it. So I'm going to start again. And what I've got here is I've got a series of tabs open that I've just little bits and pieces that I've picked up through the week, and give you a bit of a rundown on what I can see happening right now on the 18th of October. And we're 8 days, 5, 6, 7 days away from a fork, and for Bitcoin Gold. And I've got this funny feeling like I don't know if it's going to be as exciting. However, at the moment, right now, we're seeing a bit of a retracement across the board. You can see a bit of a dip here. Bitcoin went quiet there. I think it almost hit 6,000 US, about 5,850, just short of the 5,900, came down, and it's progressively gone pretty quiet, and it's just dropped down a couple of hundred down to 5,300. And I think that's a good thing. And I've got the little global chart here, which I'm going to bring up. And as you can see, we've got the two shark teeth, and then we're pretty much into this third tooth. And this is why I like looking at the overall scheme of things with regards to graphs. You sort of get a feel of the cycles, because like I said, the thing about this space is it's still very small, 1% of the entire financial markets. The big boys have got 10 billion, and $20 billion to play as a group, as a cartel, as an entity, can move money in and out and really affect the markets. And that's what we've seen. We saw that in May. We saw that in pretty much in August. We saw some FUD, and now we've seen another surge of Bitcoin, which actually surprised me a little bit. It was actually quite early in October. I was expecting quite a healthy sort of an alt couple of weeks, and then Bitcoin start to charge towards this fork. But what we might see is a double pump of the Bitcoin. So we've seen that happen in the middle, second week of October. It's starting to retrace now, and I've got the little chart here. As you can see, it's pulled back, and just even as I've done this video, it's pulled back about $10 billion. It was it's pulled back $15 billion over the last 8 hours today. And it could be just a small little blip. I mean, that happens. Have a look at it. I mean, that's normal market influences. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen. It could be just a little bit of a pullback before another run towards this Bitcoin Gold. And I think we're also going to see a bit of a run towards a SegWit, which is on the, I think, the 3rd or 4th, or maybe just earlier in November. I'll have to confirm that. I'm not sure if that's going to go ahead. I've sort of read a little bit of news that it's not quite getting the support, but that's what we've got to keep our eye on. Next thing is Bitshares. A few people have seen it. There's a couple of things that have been happening. Bitshares, 2 weeks ago, I think there was an anomaly where a whole heap of Bitshares-based cryptocurrencies, and we were all pointing our finger at Bitshares, but the market dumped pretty much simultaneously in all the alts. And I've seen this happen before. It's not the first time. I think there's just more people watching the market, and they've picked up on it. And some people are saying that Bitshares basically sold off a whole heap of their, what would you call it, their fees that they withdraw or extract before someone takes money out and moves it to their own private wallets. And at the end of the day, that's fair enough. It's their money. If they decide to press the button and cash out, sure, it's going to influence the market, but in some ways, I think they've got a duty of care. Maybe they could have done it in a different way. There's a lot of people who do trading for the, what do you call it, everyday living, but that's a risk you take. So whether it was Bitshares or not, there was a bit of sus behaviour going on. The other side of Bitshares is what I think is happening right now is regulations are coming in. So what they're doing is screwing down on security verification of accounts, making sure everyone's who they say they are, trying to pull back on all the pump groups, and I think maybe multiple accounts, illegitimate money that might be going in and out of the country, because I think Bitshares is central to USA. SEC might have given them some guidelines, and they're not going to announce all of this. they'll get something in the mail and it says we're going to come and do an audit on you or something like that, and they've given them a certain amount of time to get their books in order, and I think that's what's happened. They've done a little bit of a dump, cashed the money, probably moved it out. Then they're also regulating all these accounts. There's a lot of people pointing the finger and sort of getting a little bit angry about it because they haven't been able to get their money out, and I sort of understand that, and I'd probably feel the same. I'm with Bittrex and I haven't had any issues, so obviously I'm with other exchanges as well. I mean, there's so many options now, Binance, and I think they're all getting a little bit more attention, so there are other options to Bittrex. I just like the interface of Bittrex, that's why I keep using it, and I think you get used to a particular interface and you get comfortable, and that's what it's all about. What have I got next? That was just the main page of coming up. Sovereign coins. Now this is the thing that we've got to keep our eye on. Now I'm not a fan of illegitimate governments. I think all the governments pretty much in Western society have been infiltrated by a group of people who are not very nice. They want to control dismantling the family unit. They're dismantling pretty much the education system, moving us away from energy sciences, and there's a whole heap of a bit of a collusion there to keep us subdued and dumbed down a little bit. And I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to that. And you know, when it comes to, we know that we've had major issues with the banking system. A lot of people are fed up with it. The Fed Reserve, it's basically the most well-organised, or the biggest well-organised crime syndicate of all time. And it's infiltrated government, it's infiltrated everywhere, and it's a disease. And that's why I think blockchain has so many benefits, and cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and the privacy coins and decentralization. And we've got to keep talking about it as a collective. I'm not personally going to support a sovereign coin for my country, in the sense that I'll probably use it for my own benefit, but I'm going to be supporting the decentralized private side of blockchain. You know, what I do with my finances is what I do. I'm pretty much out of the banking system. I don't have debt anymore. I've really worked hard in the last 10 years. Now, the thing is with Russia is they're bringing out the crypto ruble, and they're talking about a 13% tax. And, you know, what I always tell people, and they do get it in the long run, is that there is nothing that ties us to government. They should work for us. The whole idea of they've been misusing our funds for years and years and years, and it's all relative to the country that you're in, and I'm pretty sure it'll be across the board, everyone feels the same. You know, it's a massive welfare state pretty much everywhere. Everything's gone out of proportion in regards to the they talk about standard of living, but the thing is we can't afford anything because everything's gone through the roof, housing and those type of things. So when it comes to tax and these sort of things, we don't have there's no contract between us and the government, and we've got to remember that, and I'm really big on that. If someone sets up a contract with me, I'm happy to legitimise that arrangement and work with those particular entities. But in sense of government, I have no affiliation with them. I don't vote for them. I don't support them. I don't respect them. There's nothing that they've done that in the last probably 20 years that I feel has done my particular country, Australia, any favours at all. There's nothing that our society or our community couldn't do ourselves, and I think blockchain has got some great initiatives moving forward which may allow us to make government irrelevant, and that's what I'm going to really be pushing forward. We've got to reject these particular I suppose controlling cryptos down the track. What's next? Social media, just a little thing about social media. I really love Steem it for a lot of reasons. One, you get paid to create content in the sense that you're mining Steem. Steem's about $1.30, $1.50 Australian. You know, you can use it for income. I think it's amazing. I'd like to see someone create a decentralized version of Facebook, make it 10 times better, none of the crap, get rid of all the infiltrated psyop, fake news and all of that crap, get rid of all the politics, get rid of them, make it all about community and bring it back. I mean, if someone else doesn't do it, I'll probably have to go and do it. And that's sort of how I feel, but how many projects can I do? But that was the next thing, was I've just found something on Cointelegraph was about social media and how blockchain's going to change it and make it a more decentralized and I suppose create architecture or a decentralized architecture that supports community, and I'm really behind that. And people got to talk about it, create the ideas, make it happen, support it, make it real. What's next? What's next? IMF coming back to these sovereign coins. I mean, I don't think anyone really is going to support a Fed coin, the Fed Reserve, or, you know, I think there is scope for maybe like a USD or an AUD where there's what would you call it, a crypto version of it, or crypto ruble, and you can actually peg it. I think Bitshares allows you to do a bit USD, which allows you to peg your Bitshares or your investment to the US dollar, so it actually follows the US dollar, and you can do that with gold and silver and other international currencies. I think that's a great initiative. However, it's still got to come back to the decentralized options. You've got to be able to control your finances from home in your own privacy and move money how you deem fit without spying eyes of the elitist corruptus. That's Latin for bad people. But yeah, look, the IMF comes out and talks about that they're going to talk about regulating cryptocurrencies, and there's going to be a disruption at some stage, I feel. And, you know, that's what I think everyone's planning for. And I'm looking at gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, and just making sure you're in the right position for a 1 or 2 year disruption where they move things over and change systems, and people are going to go broke, and there's going to be lots of horrible things happen, I think, for particular classes. I don't like talking about classes, but people with certain positions in society, and a lot of it comes back to their financial wealth. So keep your eye on that, IMF and all these new sovereign coins. China's going to come back in very soon. And the thing about China is that they're going to regulate. I think they're having a meeting today on the 18th about what they were going to do to get back in. We've seen Bitcoin Cash and NEO in the last 3 or 4 days start to come alive. I mean, that could be just normal cycles, but a lot of it's manipulated, a lot of it's auto bots and pump groups, and, you know, they create energy in the particular space. Does that mean that China is going to re-enter the space very, very soon? Maybe this whole Bitcoin little retracement here is a little bit of inside trading, bit of noise with the big boys that pulled out their money, brought the price back down, getting ready to buy back in for the news of China re-entering the space. Because that's what we've seen. We've seen Bitcoin retrace due to manufactured news. You know, Jamie Dimon and China leaving. It was very well orchestrated announcement across the internet. And this time we've seen Bitcoin step down a few times. It was sort of like a very subtle, oh, we're just taking our money, don't look what's happened here. Bitcoin's dropped $400, nothing to be worried about. And then all of a sudden we see China re-enter the space. You know, Bitcoin's going to surge. I think Cliff High was talking about surging on the 3rd or the 4th of November. I think it's going to happen a little bit earlier than that. You think it's going to happen before the fork. People do want to get extra Bitcoin so they can maximize their benefit, but I don't think Bitcoin gold's going to be that lucrative. So in regards to value, so it may not be as of interest to the big boys. So they might hold back. They might even create a retracement here for a couple of weeks, and then we'll see a bit of an explosion leading into November, especially leading up to SegWit, I think. This whole second fork in November. If you don't know much about it, I'll probably do a video on it, but you can definitely go and read it or look into it. What else have I got? What's this one? That's just me opening up CoinDesk. All these little extra tabs. Next one. I thought this was of interest. Australian universities giving out Ether. So what they've done, they've got an internal network. If you use their app to buy certain products, they're going to, for every X amount, I think it's 10 transactions or something, you get $5 worth of Ether to a private account through the application, which I thought was really cool. And the university is University of New South Wales. So they've got a Loyalty X program. This is how things go mainstream. This is advertising and marketing to the next generation, or especially the millennials that are at university right now, and that's going to get them involved in cryptocurrencies, and you're going to see them normalizing cryptocurrencies and digital currency, in that sense that it's all going to come back to technology and offline and cashless and that type of stuff. So I thought that was a very interesting subject of getting students involved by a loyalty program. And what else have I got? Pretty much that was all. I wanted to just share that. I think we're going to have a little bit of a retracements happening right now as I do this video. And I'm not too sure what's going to happen leading up to November. It could keep retracing, could go horizontal. Will we see a bit of an influx before the fork for Bitcoin Gold? I think it will. I think we'll see it again in November, and then we'll probably have a nice strong back end of November, and then leading into Christmas should retrace again, because people take their money and go and do stuff, or they get ready for the boom in January. Normally there's a bit of an economic boom across the board in stocks and gold and silver, and we've seen that in the last couple of years, so odds on that it's going to happen again. 2018 is going to be the year of disruption, the year of chaos, the year of order out of chaos, and the whole cryptocurrency space, I think, will come alive again. I think there will be some major money pumping in January the ladder. So try on all the news and things like that. But I think the long game here, if you're invested now leading into 2019, 2020, and you're patient enough to hold on and stack and maybe do a couple of strategic trades here and there, especially on those big pumps, there's nothing wrong with learning how the market cycles work and selling at the top and then coming in, 20% or 30%. Sometimes I've been coming in at 50% retracement, and it has been working. But that's experience, and I'm not here to give you advice. I'm here to inspire you to look into it, and hopefully it'll make a major change to your life in the next 12 months, as it has with me. So I'm going to keep doing my videos. Let me know what you think in the YouTube comments, and on my Sebastian Jago at Steem blog. Come and vote up some of my blogs and things like that, only if you want to. And I'm going to share with you some videos on what I'm doing in Lombok. I've got a coaching facility over there, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more on my website. So thanks for all your support. I hope this video gave a little bit of insight of what may or may not happen. And let me know what you think. And thanks for listening, guys, and tune into my next video.